My husband kept one secret his entire life, not from the world, from me. I found it 6 months after I buried him, and it did not break me, it remade me completely. Adam was a quiet man, not cold, just careful. He spoke slowly, he loved deeply, he never wasted words. If I say it, he told me once, I mean it completely. We had 11 years together, a small house, 2 children, a garden he loved more than anything. Every Saturday morning, him, the garden, and a cup of tea going cold beside him. He died on a Wednesday. No warning, no goodbye, no last words. He was here, then he was not. That is the cruelest way to lose someone. The first weeks I do not remember clearly. People came, people left, food appeared on the table. I moved through it all like someone watching from a distance. 6 months later, I finally went into his study. I had not touched it, not once. His jacket still on the chair, his glasses on the desk, his coffee mug unwashed. I could not wash it. That felt like erasing him. I was looking for his insurance papers. Bottom drawer, left side, I found the papers. And beneath them, a small brown notebook. His handwriting on the cover. One word. Hana. He had written my name on the cover. Not diary, not private, my name. Like it was always meant for me to find. Like he had left it there on purpose. Waiting. I sat with it for 1 hour. What if it changed things? What if the man inside was not the man I knew? What if I lost him a second time? From the inside. I made tea. I sat in his chair. I opened the first page. And Adam, my quiet, careful husband who never wasted words, had been writing to me for 11 years. The first entry, dated our wedding night. I do not know how to tell her what she means to me. Words feel too small, so I will write them here, every one, until I find a way to say them out loud. He never found a way. 11 years, hundreds of pages, every feeling he had, written down carefully, kept in a drawer, never spoken. Because Adam loved deeply, but feared that his words would never be enough. He wrote about small things, the way I laughed at my own jokes before the punchline, the way I hummed while cooking, always off-key, always confident. She has no idea how much light she carries, he wrote. I hope she never loses. He wrote about our hard days too, the fights, the silences, the nights we slept on opposite sides of the bed like strangers. I wanted to reach across tonight. I didn't. That was wrong. Tomorrow I will. I stopped at that entry. I thought back. That night, that fight, that cold silence, and the next morning he had made me tea, without being asked, without a word. That was his tomorrow. That was his apology. I just never knew where it came from. There was an entry the day our son was born. I held him for the first time and thought, I have never done anything worthy of this moment. I need to become the kind of man he can look up to, starting today, starting now. And the day our daughter came, she looked at me and I completely fell apart. I did not expect that. I thought I was prepared. I was not even close. Then I found an entry from 3 years ago, the year I was very ill, the year I thought he was handling it better than me. She is sleeping now. I sat beside her for 2 hours. I am terrified in a way I cannot show her because she needs me to be steady. So I am steady. In here, I am falling apart. All those months I thought he was calm. I thought he was fine. I thought I was the only one who was scared. He was terrified. He just loved me enough to hide it. He carried it alone, so I wouldn't have to. Deeper in the diary, an entry with no date. My greatest fear is not death. It is leaving her before she knows, before she truly knows what she is to me. I put the diary down. I pressed my hands over my mouth. He knew. He had always known he might not find the words in time. And still, he never said them out loud. I read further, searching for the answer. And I found it. 1 page, 1 honest paragraph. I am afraid that if I say it, she will see how much I need her. And needing someone that much feels like handing them the power to destroy you. So I write it here, instead, where it is safe. That was the saddest thing I had ever read. This man, my husband, my partner, my person, had loved me completely and been too afraid to let me see it. And I had never known. For 11 years, I had never known. I had thought, sometimes, that maybe he loved me a little less than I loved him, that maybe I needed him more than he needed me, that maybe I was more invested, more vulnerable, more exposed. I had thought this for 11 years. I was wrong. The last entry, 2 days before he died. A Tuesday. The garden is ready for winter. Hana made soup tonight, the one I love. I should tell her I love that soup. I should tell her I love her. Tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. He died the next morning, and the soup, I had made it because he looked tired, because I loved him. We were both loving each other on that Tuesday. In silence, in soup, in a garden put to bed for winter. He left me 100 unsaid things. He also left me every single one of them. Written down, dated, kept safe. For me, with my name, I read the whole diary in one night. I did not sleep. I sat in his chair until the sun came up, holding every word he was too afraid to say out loud. Not just grief, something else. A strange, aching fullness, like being handed something precious just as the person who made it walks out the door. The next morning, my son came downstairs. 12 years old, Adam's eyes, Adam's quietness. He sat beside me without asking why I had been crying. He just sat. Adam's son. Completely. I showed him one entry, the one from the day he was born. He read it slowly, then again. Then he looked at me. Did he really write this? Every word, I said. He folded it carefully, put it in his pocket, said nothing, but his eyes said everything. I showed my daughter her entry too. She is 9. She read it 3 times. Then she said, "Can I keep a copy, Mama, for when I am older and I forget what his voice sounded like?" I typed every entry, every single page. I made 3 copies, one for me, one for my son, one for my daughter, so his words would never be lost, so he would never be fully gone. Spring came. I went into the garden, the one he had put to bed for winter. He had prepared it so carefully, even that last week, not knowing. He had prepared it to bloom without him. He could not say the words, but he planted a garden that came back every year. He could not say "I love you" loudly enough, but he put to bed every single plant, so we would have something beautiful to wake up to. That was Adam. I wish he had told me, not everything, not all 100 pages, just once, just one Tuesday evening. "Hana, I need you to know what you are to me." Just that. But I also understand now. Fear is not the opposite of love. Sometimes fear lives right inside love, in the same chest, in the same quiet man, in the same careful hands to say things later. I told my son every week, "You make me proud, not for what you do, for who you are." I told my daughter every night, "You are the best thing I did not plan for. You are my favorite surprise." She rolls her eyes now. Good. She will remember. The diary sits on my bedside table, not in a drawer, not hidden, beside my lamp. Some nights I open it to one page, any page, and I hear his voice, quiet, careful, choosing every word. There is one sentence I go back to most, the very last line of the very last entry. After tomorrow, in smaller writing, like an afterthought, "I hope she knows. I think she knows. I hope." Adam, I know now. I know completely. And I need you to know you were enough. Every silent morning, every cold cup of tea, every garden, every word you wrote and could not say, I heard them all. My name is Hana. My husband left me a diary with my name on it. He loved me in every way except out loud, and I loved him without knowing how deeply he loved me back. We were both holding the same thing from opposite sides of a silence neither of us broke. If someone came to mind while you read this, call them. Not tomorrow, not when you find the right words, now. With the wrong words, with no words, just let them know you are there before the last entry writes itself. Thank you for being here on English Story Hub. Adam wrote Hana's name on the cover of his diary because some part of him always knew she would need to find it. My question for you, is there something you have been meaning to say to someone but keep waiting for the right moment? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next story. Goodbye.